the Turkey Sandwich Podcast, meat and bread for your head. It's episode number 10, and today's topic, diet destroyers. We're going to talk about how to conquer the mighty diet, where to find those hidden calories, and to figure out where you might be going over on your diet without even realizing it. I'm going to give you some simple ways to start cutting back so you can start having those consistent weight loss results over a long period of time. Because after all, that's what it's all about. It's all about consistency. So I want to help bring you some awareness. I want to help educate you about what you might be putting in your body that's holding you back. I want to get you off the plateau. I want to get you out of the vicious cycle. And I want to show you how to make some small changes in your everyday life to get you healthier, to give you more confidence, to give you more energy, to get you more active. We all know that diet is the foundation for any healthy lifestyle. So I'm going to show you some quick ways to start cutting back. So one of the most overlooked areas that people don't really think about when they're doing a diet are condiments. Condiments have a ton of calories, they have a lot of fat in some cases, a lot of sodium, and the serving size is relatively small. Think about this. The serving size for most condiments is 1 tablespoon. And I don't know about you guys, but when I eat a burger and fries, I'll eat 4, 5, 6, 7 times that amount of ketchup. Nobody ever just scoops out 1 tablespoon of ketchup and sticks to that serving amount. So the calories start adding up pretty quickly if you're not thinking about it. So think about this. If you just went over on your diet 250 calories per day, 250 calories, there's 3,500 calories in 1 pound. So in 2 short weeks, you can easily be gaining a pound every 2 weeks. And let's break this down a little further. There's 26 2-week periods in a year. So you could easily gain 25 or 26 pounds in a year if you're not very active and you're just going over on your calories a little bit every day. So this is one of the first areas that I tell people to start trimming and to start using condiments in moderation. The average serving size is more like 3 tablespoons. So we are going to use a 3 times multiplier for this example. 3 tablespoons of condiments, and we're going to break down some of the nutrition facts for the most popular condiments that people often overeat on. So the first one is ketchup, of course. So 3 times. That's going to be 15 grams of net carbs, 450 milligrams of sodium, which is about 20% of your sodium, and 11 grams of sugar. That's what people don't realize a lot of times. Your condiments tend to have a lot of sugar that you don't even realize. The next one is barbecue sauce. Everybody loves barbecue sauce, but as well, 21 grams of net carbs, 525 milligrams of sodium, almost 25% of your sodium, and 18 grams of sugar. In barbecue sauce, they often use some type of sweetener like honey, so you have that salty and sweet taste. So you got to be careful. You got to limit the amount of barbecue sauce you can use. And let's move on to the white sauces, which are much, much worse. The first one, of course, is mayonnaise. It is loaded with calories. If we use that 3 times multiplier again, it's 282 calories and 30 grams of fat. That's crazy. 50% of your fat calories will be used for the day if you have that 3 tablespoons of mayo. So you got to watch out for the mayo. And the condiment that takes the cake, that's the king of all condiments. That's the number 1 diet destroyer, is a lot of people's favorite, and it's ranch dressing. Ranch dressing has 435 calories. 45 grams of fat, which is nearly 70% of your fat for the day. And here's another one, 984 milligrams of sodium. That's almost half your sodium for the day. So I always think it's ironic that they mix like a veggie platter with ranch dressing. You have one of the most healthy things with one of the most unhealthy things combined. Maybe that's why they do it, to find a balance. But anyways, you gotta watch the amount of condiments you are taking in. It's okay to have some spice and add some flavor to your food, but you gotta do it in moderation. You gotta be aware of what you're putting on your food and the amount you're using. That's imperative. Don't overdo it. It's okay to have a little bit of anything. Anything in moderation is okay, but when you cross that line, that's when it becomes a harmful thing to your body. So limit yourself to a smaller amount of those condiments, and it's going to make a drastic difference long term in your diet plan. And the next part of your life that you can start cutting back on in your diet are liquid calories. A lot of people overlook this area because they think they're, drinking something healthy, but in fact, things like juices, something like Naked Juice just has a ton of sugar in it. Also, of course, the obvious stuff like soda has a lot of sugar, has a lot of refined sugar. You got to look out for that high fructose corn syrup, the refined and processed sugar. That's where you got to start cutting back. Bottom line, unused sugar in your body will eventually break down and turn into fat. It will store the sugar as fats. So also some things to watch out for, things like energy drinks. Yeah, they might have a lot of electrolytes and help with recovery and stuff like that, but in the end, most of them have a ton of sugar. Those energy drinks and those sports drinks have a ton of sugar. They are useful during workouts, like if you're in the midst of an intense workout. That's very helpful, but you got to watch out for that excess sugar. They have low sugar options. And lastly, coffee. If you just get like black coffee, it has 0 calories, like literally no calories in it. But once you start adding the cream and the sugar to your coffee every day, that starts adding up really quickly. You can easily have 20, 30, 40 grams of sugar in one frappuccino or one iced coffee beverage with a couple pumps of caramel. So you really got to watch out on those coffee drinks. Those are the areas that you got to start cutting back on because they creep up on you. Most people don't think you can literally drink yourself fat, but you can literally drink the pounds onto your body, and that's what's going to stop you from losing weight. And it's not necessarily food. It can be just those liquid calories just adding up to your daily caloric intake that are going to put you over the top and let the weight creep onto your body over a long period of time. And the third diet destroyer, this is definitely the area I struggle with the most. Snack foods, those greasy, delicious, sugary filled, calorie loaded, delicious, scrumptious snack foods. These are really hard to deal with because they are addicting. Like, you can't just have one. So you got to figure out a way to limit yourself. So there's a few things that I recommend. When you go to the grocery store, of course, make sure you are on a full stomach, you are in sound mind, and you are not starving for something. You do not have a crazy sweet tooth. Number 2, when you get home, you need to clean out your pantry. When you are in sound mind again, and are thinking clearly, go ahead and start cleaning out all the deep fried food, the sugary loaded food, all that stuff, the milk chocolate, the candy. Get rid of all that stuff and start from scratch. So I'm going to give you a few healthy alternatives to those favorite foods that you might have. I'm going to list a few of mine, and I'm going to go over one by one what you can do to get a healthier option. So the first for me, chips. I love to munch on chips, like Pringles, Doritos, any kind of chips. What you have to do for chips is find some type of a baked option or a lower calorie option that's going to help out a lot. They also have like pre-portioned snack bags, those like 100-calorie bags. That's going to take the guesswork out of how many calories and fat are in these bags, and it's going to help you cut back. So those are good tips, baked and pre-portioned. The next thing, cookies. I love to eat cookies. I could eat a whole box of those Chips Ahoy cookies. Amazing. Or Oreos. I love Oreos. So for stuff like that, once again, maybe try the portion control Ziploc bags, and count out the number of cookies you're going to eat and limit yourself. Another good option on those, do the thin option. A lot of cookie companies now are making a thinner option, same ingredients, just like half the size. For Oreos, they have the thin version that I like to buy, and I can eat a lot more of those with much fewer calories. Then next up, ice cream. That is my Achilles heel. The number one thing that I like to cheat on is ice cream. Now, it's tricky because you don't want to give up flavor when you're having ice cream. For me, I found that the best ice cream out there is this Greek yogurt ice cream. They are called the YAASO, Yasso bars, I believe it's pronounced. But they have these 100-calorie bars in all different kinds of flavors. I think they have 5 or 6 grams of protein, and they don't give up on taste. They are amazing, delicious, and nutritious. So save the ice cream for the weekend or have a healthier option during the week to curb that craving, and so you're not overloading your calories. And lastly, chocolate. I love milk chocolate. I love any kind of candy with chocolate in it. So a healthy alternative to chocolate would be go with some dark chocolate pieces and have them broken up into smaller chunks so you can take advantage of the health benefits of dark chocolate, the antioxidants, And if you really have a crazy sweet tooth, try to keep some healthy fruits around that you actually like to eat. If you don't like apples, don't go to the store and buy a bunch of apples or bananas. Find something that you really like. For me, I always try to stick to something in the berry family, some type of berry. Blueberries are my favorite. I always have like a little container of blueberries handy, and when I get that sweet tooth, I'll eat some blueberries, and it'll make that feeling, that like addictive feeling of that craving for sugar, go away. So those are some helpful tips for snack foods. You got to start cutting back on the snacks, because when you get a snack attack, there's only one thing you're going to do. You're going to eat and eat and eat until you feel full and satisfied. And that sugary or salty and fatty tastes are addictive. They activate the part of your brain, the same parts of your brain that actually like drug addicts and alcoholics are accessing when they overindulge and stuff like that. So you got to watch those snack foods. Now let's wrap this thing up. Let's put the wrapper on that tasty morsel of chocolate and do a quick recap of this podcast. The top 3 diet destroyers that we went over today. Number 1, condiments. Limit the amount you are putting on your food. Don't give up condiments for good. Just watch your portions, use them in moderation, and save them for the weekend if you're going to really go hard. And number 2, liquid calories. Cut back on all those liquid calories. They're going to turn into fat. That unused sugar, it's going to go right to your stomach. And number 3, snack foods. Find some healthy options. Have those healthy options available. A piece of fruit, some lower calorie option, and save the really, really good stuff for your cheat day on the weekend. Remember, 5 on, 2 off. 5 days of healthy eating, and enjoy yourself on the weekends. Save yourself for the weekends and be patient. You can do this. We can do this. Let's do this together. I will talk to you guys soon.